Alright, let's get this record going here. Alright, what's up guys? It's me, Fridge again. Back with another commentary video. I'm going to be playing Singed in the top lane here. We got double Corky. This is just a regular game, by the way. Still kind of practicing it a little bit. I would prefer if Corky had something, as a better support. Not that Lux is a bad support, but Corky's really mana dependent, which is why having a Soraka in lane is nice. But either way, it looks like, I might be in some seriously deep trouble. I am playing against a Teemo, which is the #1 Singed counter, unfortunately. That's why I don't like blind pick sometimes, but oh well. We'll see how this goes. I might end up having to do another commentary on Singed, because it's pretty hard to lane against a Teemo with Singed. But we'll see if he's any good. Nato is their jungler. You could gank her, but he ate a pretty big nerf, so his jungle times are really, really bad now. So you don't see that very often anymore. You need to start with boots of speed and 2 health pots and a mana pot.
It's nearly time.
Can't put whatever lane cat's in. Yeah, that recent Katarina buff, you see her being played quite a bit. No, I don't really like playing against Teemos. Katarina can snowball really hard. Any character can snowball really hard. In all fairness.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So we'll see.
On my way.
You can see I haven't grabbed an ability yet, because generally like to wait and see if there's going to be invade. Soraka's not a viable mid. She wanted to play Soraka mid, but we already had a support, and Soraka mid's just not viable anymore. Oh well. So we're gonna just end up helping this guy grab these here. And I'm not really going to do much because I got there a little late, but... So I had mentioned that I like to wait until I see if there's going to be a gank to decide what ability I'm going to get with Singed. And with most characters, in fact. Because if there is a gank on either team's part, I grab my fling for escape purposes or for getting someone in a position where they're singled out. Otherwise, I grab my poison first.
It's nearly time.
And I actually managed to come up to lane and get all 4 of those minions, which is good. It's a good start. I like Singed because with the right runes, he's pretty easy to not only CS with, but win a lane with, and he's going to harass me here because he knows that I'm Singed. He did get a first blood, that's good. Good. Corky. I like Corky. Corky's a good bot lane pick at all times. But it just helps with the extra mana. Get out of here. Get out of here. So if he's going to just harass me like that right away, I'm going to kind of try and throw him over my shoulder into the poison a little bit and get him back a little bit. It's still early, so he's not going to necessarily be able to dominate me quite yet. But he is going to be super annoying is what he's going to be. And that's really unfortunate for me because that poison tick is what's going to kill me. So he's just going to kind of force me back, really. So I'm going to try and let these minions push back towards me as much as possible, because then I can just free farm instead of have to worry about him coming up and trying to annoy me. I don't want that big minion, so I'm gonna be willing to take a little bit of harass for that. And now it is starting to push in my direction, so that's good. I'm gonna let this wave get destroyed. Now right about here is where I want to keep the minions, and I could even afford for them to go back a little bit further. But I'm going to just stay around and try and last hit these as much as possible, because then he can't really harass me as easily. Unfortunately, I am going to have to start poisoning some of these because my minions are dying much more quickly. And I'm going to tank these because I have my poison on, and I want to get all these. I don't want to let the tower get any of this farm. I missed a bunch of them. So unfortunately, I am getting out harassed because this is a Teemo, like I mentioned, and he's one of my counters. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to want to go back to the base and just buy something early on. Hopefully I'll take care of some mana problems so I can just spam some stuff toward him. Ah, you little bastard. Blinded me right as I wanted the big minion. That's smart on his part. I'll give it to him. I don't like Teemos. But again, we're going to try and just kind of keep this lane pushed in my direction so that, number one, I can get an easier gank from my jungler, hopefully, at some point, if he decides to come up here. Doesn't look like he's really in the mood for that right now, though. The team was actually just backing off, and I don't really know why. The minion died way quicker than I wanted to, too. Maybe he's... See, if he's just backing up like this, he's playing aggressive. So he's gonna try and push me back, and he's gonna succeed at it, but it's not gonna really. I just at this point when it's pushing in his direction, I'm just gonna try and get in range for the experience because there's really not a whole lot I can do when he's under his tower. So I'm just gonna kind of stand here in this brush, and hopefully he gets out of place. I'm gonna get my level 6, and he's gonna be getting his level 5 at the same time. So I'm gonna just collect this experience, and once I get my level 6, we'll be in good shape. I'm gonna get that minion. And then this is gonna start to push back in my direction again. And I didn't really miss any XP. I just missed a couple of minions for fun. But as you can see, I'm beating him 28-14. He's worried too much about harassing me. And you know what? He's not in lane. He just disappeared. So I'm gonna push this up, and then I'm gonna go right back. I'm gonna go back, and then I'm gonna buy. Right after I push all this. And there was a Nautilus gank, so good thing I was starting to back up. I'm gonna just go ahead and go back right now. When I get back, I always want to try and get Catalyst, but I know I'm not going to be able to do it because I'm sitting at not the best amount of health. So I'm going to just build towards it. I'm going to get a couple sight wards so I can be a little aggressive, and then I'm going to buy a couple more health pots because I expect to get harassed a lot by the Teemo.
A summoner has reconnected. A summoner has reconnected.
And I like to put my health pots right there. So now this Nautilus is chilling up top, and I'm going to call my Teemo MIA. Yeah, that made for odds. Okay. That's fine.
They're ready, so come and eat.
Okay. Be up in a little bit. And I just kept my poison on that whole time under tower because I I felt as though it would be beneficial for me because I figured I'd get more of that minion farm than I did. But oh well. And that's not exactly a good spot for me to be in. So I kind of wanna Okay, well Diana's gonna be...
An enemy has been slain.
We're just gonna chill here. We're gonna get that. And we're gonna just force the Teemo back. And so that worked out well. It's a good thing Diana was there. And I'm gonna just try and keep the Teemo back as much as possible at this point, because now I have a kill on him. He can easily harass me, but I can try and keep him back from the farm, at the very least anyways. I'm gonna start being really tanky soon too, so you just put a shroom there. But I am going to start being tanky, and I'm going to try and build to counter Teemo directly because he is my laning opponent. So we're going to see what he wants to build. He decided to bail. I saw him go invisible there, so that's why I did that.
It's nearly time.
I'm not really scared of him at all right now. I'm a lot tankier. Oh, I didn't want to eat that, but that's okay. And it looks like he is going to go AP Teemo, either AP or hybrid. Kind of hoping he runs into this brush stupidly.
I hear you.
And I'm just going to dive him because I am super tanky with my ulti up.
On my way.
And that'll do plenty of damage to him. I'm not worried about it. That'll force him out of this lane. And I can just farm all this minion up, push it to his tower. And if he stays there, he's going to get tower dived by me. It's as simple as that, because I can do that. And he's just going to use a mushroom to kill all my minions.
I hear you.
And I'm just going to keep him off of that. Let him chase me. I'll just keep him poisoned. See, this is why Singed is an extremely good top laner.
Nearly time.
Especially once you get your catalyst. He doesn't really have any mana problems then. So now he absolutely has to go out of lane. There's no way he can stand lane or he's done for. That being said, I will push this lane up as far as possible. Get as many of these minions as possible. And then at that point, I'm going to go back as well. Because I'm going to have my minions push this farm. He's going to miss out on all this XP. And then when I go back, I am going to buy my catalyst this time. And as a top laner, you're always going to want to buy 2 sight wards. Regardless of what else you want to buy. You want to buy 2 sight wards every time you go back. Because you're going to risk getting ganked by the opponents all the time otherwise. And I'm going to build towards Merc Treads. Because that's going to give me some magic resistance and tenacity. Which is going to be good. That'll lower the duration of those slows and stuff. Just as long as I'm not running into multiple shrooms at once. And I don't really have much mana problems, but I am going to grab 1 blue pot because just to be safe, basically, in case it gets really aggressive. But unless you're just spamming your poison, you shouldn't have much for mana problems after you buy a catalyst. Right now you can see
Nearly time.
I'm 2 kills up on this, or I'm 2 levels up on this team, sorry. And I am a kill up on him. Plus, I have 30 farm more than him. He is so underfed, and I'm a lot tankier than him.
My way.
So, I'm going to just tank this farm. I'm going to eat it all. And then I'm going to just keep the Teemo back. I want all this farm to myself. And I don't want him to get any of it. And then I'm going to freeze it right here.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Except for I poisoned him a little bit more than I wanted to. But
Rampage.
then I'm going to just start last hitting it.
This may hurt.
And then I'm going to drop my wards in the same places I dropped them last time. Right here to watch for the ganks. I'll eat a shroom right there.
Rampage.
And I'm going to put one in the tri-brush. And I know he's got a mushroom in there, but I'm just going to run through it anyways. I was kind of hoping he would chase me a little harder there. I went to normally poison those minions. I thought Teemo was going to start chasing me.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
So I'm just gonna kind of keep these minions pushed to his tower at this point. He's so far behind in the farm, he's gonna have some serious trouble trying to CS under his tower. So I'm gonna just run up, and I'm gonna poison them all again. The more I can push him to his tower, the less chance he has of getting the last hits. And as you can see, I'm not really having much problems with my mana anymore because I've been spamming my poison quite a bit. I'm gonna just do whatever I can to keep him off of that. Nah, it really doesn't. That slow doesn't do any damage, but what it is gonna do is it's gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go around this way because they think I'm going that way.
Nearly time.
And there we came away with 2 kills, and I got pretty low, but I did manage to get away no problem. So I'm going to just back off at this. I'm going to maybe throw on a slow to help out.
An enemy has been slain.
And actually this is going really, really well for us. And I'm just willing to eat that death because I know the minions or someone else is going to finish it off. I had a feeling I was going to die there, but I wasn't too concerned. Because I was able to tank that tower for a little bit. And I did avoid that Sona stun, and she did waste it for that reason. So that's a good thing for us. So my number 1 rule, like I said, buy 2 wards every time you go back. And then I'm going to finish my Mercury Treads. Because they're one of the most important things. Getting your speed 2 boots early is one of the most important things you can do. And then I'm going to keep on working toward a Rod of Ages by buying a Blasting Wand.
It's nearly time.
So I'm sitting at 2-1-2 with 83 farm, and Timo is 0-1-0 with 39 farm. I more than double his farm. He's really, really underfed, and he's just not going to be. He's going to start falling further and further behind if it keeps up at this rate, and that's what I'm going to try and make it do. So I'm going to continue to be aggressive on him, but perhaps even tower dive him a few more times here instead of just pushing it to his tower to try and prevent his farm. And I'm going to just keep the poison on this whole time. I want these to push to his tower. I want him to have to try and CS under his tower. He just went MIA over here. Or he just went invisible. And I know that. Now I'm going to ulti. I'm going to just ulti, because I just don't care anymore. And I'm going to just throw him right back into my poison. I'm going to just throw him again. Just like that. So I got really aggressive there. And that worked really, really well in my favor. So now I want to go ahead and push this tower. So to do that, I want to be sure that I'm keeping this warded. Because I don't want people from the other team to come up. Especially, I can't see any of them. So that'd be really, really bad if they started coming up. And I didn't know they were coming up. So I wouldn't have gotten a chance to escape. So I do want to keep that warded, especially when I'm pushing towers. And what I'm going to do when my minions get up towards here, I'm going to go forward and I'm going to just kill theirs because theirs are at the same point. And now I'm going to have more minions that are going to get there in order to tank this tower before they have 2 minion waves coming through, you know? If that makes sense. So now I'm going to have another full minion wave. I got all that farm. And I'm more than likely going to get this tower out of it too. I'm going to use my mana pot. I don't really need to. But so this tower's going to fall now, and it's going to keep the Timo even further behind. This is going to be global gold. We managed to get a dragon earlier too, so we're getting all the advantages up here. There's a Sona right there, and this Timo's running. They're scared of me now. They're all right here. They're all right here. So I'm gonna just back up. I got the tower. Why be too risky with it? There's no sense in losing my life for being too risky. Actually, my teammates are starting to group here, so I might start something here. I shouldn't have died to that Katarina. I should have tossed her, but I do know what I did wrong, and we did manage to come out ahead 4-2 or 3-2 out of that. So I can't complain too much about that. I have enough for my rod of ages now, and
Enemy has been slain.
at this point I'm definitely gonna want to see how Teemo is built up to this point. He's got a Sheen, so that means he's going hybrid. Because he does do some extra attack damage every time he uses an ability then. So that being said, I'm gonna just go ahead and build. I'm gonna build a Heart of Gold because that's gonna give me a little bit of gold. I mean, I don't need the gold right now because I'm fed. And generally, when you buy a gold per 10 item, you want to get it before the 15-minute mark because then it has more value to it. You gain more gold from it. But at this point, I might break even on it. But at some point, I'm gonna want to build it into a Shirley's Reverie probably, depending on if my teammates are building that or not. And it doesn't look like they are at the moment, so getting a Shirley's Reverie is really good. And that's usually something a support would do, but we can deal with buying it ourselves here, because that's not a big deal. And I notice I did not buy wards this time because this tower is down, and I don't plan on pushing the second tower quite yet. And I started talking too much there when I could have probably killed that Katarina. I'm gonna ulti again, because then I'll gain a lot of tankiness, and then I'm just gonna throw him again. And then I'm gonna just probably end up dying here, but that's okay. And I'm actually gonna get away. So I will take that, and I'm gonna use some health pots here, so I can come back in quick.
Let me ask.
Yep. Okay, well, their Corky went AFK, so they'll probably be surrendering here soon. I'm gonna kill these minions, and we're gonna push up towards this inhibitor. And we're just gonna take this, and then I'm gonna go back to base. And they're gonna surrender on that note. So that was a little bit too quick of a game. I'll plan on making another Cinch guide or a commentary at some point here in the near future, because you really didn't get to see a whole lot. But one thing you want to remember with Cinched is definitely you want to work towards that Rod of Ages early, because that'll take care of a lot of mana problems, and that'll also give you some ability power. After that, you want to pay attention to what your laning opponent is building, because Teemo can go AP, he can go AD, and he can go hybrid. In this game, he was going to be going hybrid. But he did build an AP item right away, so I built a little bit of magic resist to counter it. You always want to be trying to counter your opponent, especially in the top lane, because top lane is where they will be able to do either AD or AP usually. And Singed being a tanky character, you're definitely just going to build tanky against what they're really good at, and then you'll start worrying about that stuff later on into the game, what the other lanes are. But until that point, just worry about your own laning opponent for a little while, and just worry about out-farming him. Like that game, I don't know how that Teemo did so bad at farm. I really didn't zone him all that much. I just pushed it under his tower for a while there, so it was harder to last hit. Even still, I think he was just too worried about trying to harass me, and it definitely did not pay off for him. Once I got that first gank at top lane, it really snowballed, because then I was up a kill to 0, and it all just went downhill for Teemo from that point on. And that's how it works out with Singed. If you can get an early kill, I mean, don't be too aggressive about it. Don't be tower diving them at level 2 to try and get a kill. But if you can get an early kill, it can snowball pretty quickly. And that's what you definitely want it to do, because that'll give your whole team an advantage. Because if you have top lane control, you can start roaming to other lanes. And that's about it for Singed. I mean, you just want to build to counter your opponent. It's as simple as that. And then, while at the same time you want to build AP, because that poison will do a lot of damage. Generally, I would have gone ahead and it really depends. Rhyolize is what I would usually build next. But again, if he's doing a lot of damage to you, you'll want to build a defensive item. But I do like to be aggressive with Singed. because he can be really tanky, and at level 6, when his ulti is up, he can tower dive anyone pretty much, as long as you're not stupid about it. So I guess that's it for this commentary. Thanks for watching. I'll make a new Singed one in the near future, but yeah, this one was too short, so I mean, you didn't really get to see a whole lot. Again, I appreciate you watching. I'll make a new one very short.